Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's Sport Final video. Going to have a look at the weather for the next 10 to 14 days. But today's final video, day 10, will take us to around the 2nd, I think, of August. And we'll be able to extend out beyond that with the excellent GFS and ECM ensembles, because they run to around a couple of weeks. So we'll have a look at CFSB2 at the end of the video for the next 4 weeks, which will get us into the second half of August now, I think. So I shall get on that for you in a moment. Just say it's been a busy day at GavsWeatherVids so far today with the EC 6am upload, the EC 42-day/6 week together, and the weekend forecast as well. And please check out those two videos if you'd like to map. Please like, share, subscribe on the vid. Thank you so much, everybody. We hope you're having a lovely, lovely Saturday as well. Right, so let's have a look then. Start off with the CET. Central temperature is still sitting at 18.2, which is over 2 degrees above average, 2.2 degrees above average. That is provisional to yesterday, to 22nd of July. As I was explaining yesterday, I think I struggle to keep this in the 18 through to month's end. I would imagine we're going to finish up somewhere sort of mid to upper 17, so 17.5 to about 17.8 or so would be my suspicion. We'll see. We might be able to maintain it in the 18s, but I think we are going to struggle a little bit with that because although it's quite warm this weekend, we're going to see a bit of a cooler interlude, I think, particularly at night through the middle part of the coming week with some cooler nights. So it will get very warm again towards the end of next week and next weekend. So it might be a close run thing, but I think we needed it to go just a little bit higher than that to maintain an 18 Celsius CT month. So if we'd gone into the mid to upper 18s, then I think we could probably have done it, because I don't think we get much of a downward correction. The idea now with the new version of the CT page is that we should not get those large downward corrections that we used to get. So that should be roughly where we are, you know, right now at 18.2. Not like that's running a few tenths above average. So if we'd been like mid to upper 18s, I think we probably would have done it. But as we're low 18s, I think we're going to struggle to have an 18 Celsius CT month. But we shall see, and time will tell. Got a week to go, of course. So, just over a week. So all will be revealed. These are the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles the next couple of weeks. We're at Edinburgh today. Now, this is up north, but of course it does explain why I think we're going to struggle to maintain that 18 Celsius CT month. So the red line is the 30-year upper air temperature average for Edinburgh. It's reasonably warm at the moment, the upper air temperatures, and will be by the end of the week and weekend. But this cooler period just here, I think that's the reason we're going to struggle to maintain an 18 Celsius CT. Because I think that cooler period, particularly notable at night, will pull the CT under 18 into the 17. But time will tell. Anyway, back to Edinburgh. So we're starting off above average with the upper air temperatures at the moment. They're going to go cooler through the early to middle part of next week. Then lift up again towards next weekend. And as we go through the first week of August, just quite close to average. No sign at all there of a return to excessively hot weather, and for the north becoming more unsettled as well. So precipitation-wise, got quite a bit of shower rain to come over the next few days. There's a drier interlude for the early to middle part of next week as it turns cooler under a ridge of high pressure. And then first week of August, we're back into unsettled weather again. Remember, that is up north though. If we go down to London, you see it's much drier then. So, yes, going to be lots of dry weather over the next week to 10 days. Maybe first week of August turn a bit more showery, but clearly there is like a quite significant north-south split in terms of precipitation, implying we're going to a zonal spell, I think, with the wettest weather in the north and the driest weather in the south. Temperature anomalies from the 23rd to the 31st of July are going to be above average, a warmer than average week to come. Precipitation anomalies from the 23rd to 31st of July show that north-south split very nicely, significantly drier than normal in the south, but a little bit on the wetter than average side, actually, if anything, up in the north. The latest wind from that from earth.nullschool.net shows that we've got low pressure in control of weather today, something we've not had all that often this summer, but there's a big area of low in the North Atlantic to west of Scotland, and that's bringing in the wind from off the Atlantic, and it's bringing outbreaks of rain too. Check out the weekend forecast at 6am upload for more about that. Right, excuse me. Right, we go into the open up next week. Then it's midnight on Tuesday. That low, currently to the west of Scotland, will by midnight on Tuesday be residing over Norway. But it is just there. And we find ourselves going into a cooler, showery, northwesterly wind. Middle part of next week, we'll see a ridge of high pressure building through the country. That's been quite a bit of dry weather with. There will be showers scattered about, but quite a bit of dry weather. A little bit cooler for the middle part of the week. And then the end of next week will start to bring some warmth back up from the south into parts of England and Wales. So temperatures lift up by next weekend in the south, but in the north it will start rather more unsettled. You notice all the time though, ridging going on in the south, keeping things mainly dry down there. Icon looks like that again, rather showery next week, but then high pressure ridging in. Flabby area of high, bringing probably the dry weather, but some showers are possible under that ridge. Next weekend sees the Azores high strengthening in the south, so lots of dry weather there, and becoming very warm potentially, possibly even locally hot down in the south next weekend. Meanwhile, further northwest, so it will be rather unsettled with low pressure, bringing further cloud and rain from off the Atlantic. GFS midnight run, looking like that, with again rather showery northwesterly wind on Tuesday, then middle next week under a ridge of high pressure. Should be quite a bit of dry weather with that turning increasingly warm later next week in the south anyway. And then heading on up toward day 10, signs of it turning unsettled bend, low pressure coming in. This is day 10, Tuesday 22nd of August, and we've got low pressure coming right way through the country. That will bring heavy rain even down south. Can you believe that? Well, given that we're talking about August, yes, you probably could believe it, because it seems to happen every year, doesn't it? But we get like a very warm or hot July, and then it all goes down the tubes, down the pan in August. And is that what's happening there, I wonder? But anyway, wet and windy by day 10. With GFS midnight run, and then after that we find ourselves staying on south, actually another deep area of low there on the 5th of August. That brings another bout of heavy rain and strong winds in across the country, and it's cool as well. So what a change that is. What a change, but all very typical of what we have come to expect of August over the past few years. We finish up looking like that, a little bit warmer in the south, but still unsettled, and this low pressure bringing further rain into the north. That's probably a bit of a synoptic outlier for the first week of August, but if it came off, it would be quite a wet and cool opening to the final month of meteorological summer. This hour GFS 6 is looking again, we're in more of a northwesterly wind on Tuesday. Some showery conditions, then high pressure dominating the weather. The middle second half of the week should bring quite a bit of dry weather with it. There will be showers scattered about because it's a showery ridge, or it's a flabby ridge, I should say. And then into the final weekend of July, we find, but again, with some weather system coming into the north, bringing some shower rain there. Meanwhile, the south looks quite warm though, and reasonably dry. And then by day 10, not as unsettled with the GFS 6A compared to midnight run. So low pressure is coming in off the Atlantic, but it's much further north and west, implying that even then, the south should be reasonable amount of dry weather. In the extended range, high pressure then builds in totally different through the first week of August with 6A compared to the midnight run. High pressure builds in and start to bring in some very warm, if not hot air from the south, so turning much hotter with GFS 6 there. That's how the upper air temperatures look. We are very close again to some extremely hot air over France. You've got plus 20 Celsius and plus 25 Celsius iceberg there just to our south. So you see the potential, if we get wind into the south, southeast, there's potential to turn really hot. That's how it looks as we get to the end of the GFS 6 there. Again, high pressure bridging through the country. Looks very warm to hot with that. Upper air temperatures, plus 15 Celsius iceberg there, plus 20 Celsius iceberg there. It could conceivably and very easily turn really hot there for the first week of August on that GFS 6Z scenario, but it's very different to a midnight run, of course. So it's all, to be real, really, it's all up for grabs for August at the moment. If you enjoyed the video, please can you like, share, subscribe. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. We are grinding 15k subscribers. We have put on our first 100 within 14k. So now we're looking to get to 14.2k, 14,200. I think we're going to put on something like another 80 subscribers to get to 14.2k. So please give us a sub to our friends and fans who subscribe as well. Thank you so much, everybody. Yeah, I can believe around half the people who watch the video are not subscribed to the channel. So about half are subscribed, half are not subscribed. Please give us a sub if you are not yet subscribed. Of course, you will need to set up a YouTube and Google account to be able to do that. Okay, GM looks like this. I'm so sorry, everybody. GM looks like this, rather showery, and just make sure you're all awake. Rather showery and a little bit northwesterly there on Tuesday. Ben, high pressure wishes in through the last part of next week. Lots of dry and quite warm weather with that, but by next weekend it's not more unsettled, especially so in the north. Some showers along as well as rain. And then looking properly unsettled with the jam by the time we get through day 10, 2nd of August. Low pressure bearing down of the country will bring some wet weather, possibly even into the south. ECM looking like this. Showery northwest winds on Tuesday. All muchness really. High pressure in control through the middle and second half of next week, turning ever warmer in the south, possibly quite hot in the south by next weekend with this ridge from the Azores, a little bit more showery up in the north, and then by day 10 we look like that, not as unsettled as a lot of model output at day 10, with the ECM mainly dry and warm still down in the south, just a little bit more showery up north. This is how the precipitation forecast, looking based on that ECM run from Trecho.com. Quite a bit of rain coming and going, and some rain getting through to the Midlands perhaps this weekend. Next week turns drier, but it will be a little bit cooler. And then we go on in towards day 10. It's up to more unsettled in the north, but still a lot of dry weather and very warm down in the south. This is the option on the table within the ECM Ensembles day for day 10 for the 2nd of August. 51 out of 51 members of the ECM Ensembles with above average heights to our south and below average heights to the north. Mainly dry and warm in the south, a little bit more showering up in the north. In 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got. We're going to go to the 7th of August. 28 members of the ECM Ensembles with a ridge to our south and also to our west. A little bit more showery to the north and northeast. So, you know, that's about averagey type thing. 12 with high pressure over Scandinavia, bringing the wind from the east. So that's very warm, potentially. And 11 with high pressure right over top of the country. Of course, that would be a very warm and dry scenario too. So it's not inconceivable we could return back to summer weather. You know, by that I mean hot weather through the first week of August. It's not out of the question by any means. So as we turn, then we're done. These are 500 millibar highs. So I'm going down to week periods. The first week period takes from 23rd, 29th of July. The coming week takes high pressure out to west. That's a trough of low pressure in over Scandinavia. Wind's going into the northwest, so cooler and a little bit more showery too. Week 2 will be the 30th of July to 5th of August. High pressure making just out to our west, low pressures up to the north. Winds coming in from a westerly direction. That should bring quite a bit of dry weather with it. It won't be a heat wave, but it should be pleasant. Week 3 will be the 6th to the 12th of August. The high pressure then going north. That will start to pull in the wind from an easterly direction. That's probably turning much warmer with that, I would have thought. And then week 4, this looks hot. This is the 13th to the 19th of August. High pressure then centred somewhere around Denmark, which is going to bring the wind in from like a southerly southeast direction. If we have a hot pooler there sitting to our south, and we could well do, then that could turn very hot through the middle part of August. Long way off, but maybe very hot mid-August, we'll see. Right then, if you enjoyed the video, please like, share, subscribe. Thank you so much for doing that. Don't forget to tell your friends and family to subscribe as well. And why not drop a comment? Let's know if you have listened to all of our videos. Thank you so much. Right, just to say what's coming up tomorrow. We're going to have 6 AM upload. We'll have 10 to 14 day as well. If that wasn't enough, we'll be live streaming at 8 PM tomorrow. Of course, we took it off last week. It's too hot to stream, but I think we'll be okay to stream this week. So live stream coming at 8 PM tomorrow. I shall see you live back, but a couple of uploads before then. For this video, though, that's all for now, and thanks for watching.